start where you can see the sky.
To begin, be in whatever place. Take your own time.
Walk in that direction until you cannot.
I don't know why you're here. Show me why you're here.
Two directions at once. It's a hard question to answer, or statement to answer. Listen carefully, then spend 1 minute telling us. I'm going to show you why it feels important to me. It's a significant intersection.
Stop. Go right.
Wide, dense, airy sound that kind of took everything over and filled the space. Space that is limited but totally open at the same time. I'm nervous.
Merge. Choose a direction.
Go south, or whatever you think is south, for as far as you can travel. I've made a choice. I'm going to head this way.
Look for the third entryway.
I'm just going to focus on this for a second. It looks a little bit like a Marcel Duchamp work. It's also the kind of thing you see very commonly on the sidewalk here in New York City. Work that could be art, or it could just be a bit of trash. Find the nearest person. Go as close to them as you feel comfortable with.
I'm seeing people down here, but they're all sleeping. And I'm not going to wake anybody up.
That I'm sure every art student in New York does, which is to take photos or videos of things by the side of
up
the road.
here, so I'm going to run across the street. I just want to give people their space for lots of reasons. Oh shit. Oh.
Go faster until you've reached a new point of interest.
I must say most of my art materials these days come from walks like this. I grab things, take them to my studio, and start to make.
Why is it interesting?
Well, I guess this building is not personally that interesting, except a close companion of mine discovered, after they moved to this very avenue, that their grandmother used to live in this very house.
Continue.
And this idea of being born in a big city like New York and having any familial ancestral right to it is
Go after
unusual.
a sound.
I also love how behind the building looms a scarily large machine,
Is that me?
an inevitable march towards the ocean.
That's me.
And that the Atlantic is your giant gateway to somewhere else. When you get to this place, do 5 slow 360-degree rotations on the spot. I'm starting to feel a bit creepy. I didn't intend to walk behind this person, but they just started walking while I was looking in the other direction, so I guess I have no choice now. I'm going to stand back and just at least show
Luxury
some respect.
rental
that I'm not
residencies.
standing right behind someone.
I don't know anything about this place, except that that's a new building that's supposed to look like a waterfall. It's not quite done yet. But up here, once, hot air balloon landed, and when the balloon deflated, it sort of melted down over the sides of the
I'm
building.
going to head up here.
It was like in the 70s.
I'll do this on foot, I wonder. The staff are instructed not to let you walk through. Let's see if I can get away with it today.
No, not there.
Okay.
The balloon eventually tattered and torn, came down to the ground, and there were little pieces of red fabric all over the sidewalk. From up high in the luxury apartments, it looked like there were little pools of blood. So just as much as everybody knew about the balloon, freak you out when you looked out of your window, especially your comfortable,
USA
isolated,
attitude to consumerism,
high-rise.
see McDonald's as the enemy.
Continue on.
I'm just going to look at this for a bit. This really does look like art. I feel like I've actually seen this work in a Chelsea art gallery this year, Quade maybe?
Frequently wandering these streets with a 3-year-old because there's sort of been nowhere else to go. This is where the baby pandas live.
A year ago I thought of making an artwork with these police lines, do not cross barriers.
Right up here
Anyway, what I was saying was...
is where Maria von Trapp pops out with the 7 children. And Piglet lives in this little hole.
This street is often a lot
Up.
turkier than it looks right now.
Find another point of interest.
Here's another example of what could be a high-end art piece, but I suspect is a bit of trash and deceit. I also discovered online today that fire hydrants are actually about 6 times taller than the fire hydrant you see there. They burrow right down into the ground, which makes sense. Too slow. Something very beautiful about this yellow patterning on the ground.
Explain it to me.
I hear street noise on
One of the
multiple
exes
levels.
whom I
Right in
yearn,
front of me,
does a lot of
across from
street
me.
work.
to the left and to the right.
What's the phrase? Sign bearing? No, that's not the phrase. Messaging? That's not the phrase either. Something about direction. Wayfaring or wayfinding or something like that.
What were you thinking?
It's pretty fucked up. I break up with a lot of people, or get broken up with, and tend to mourn their loss for many, many years.
I hear
Speaking of which,
that
this is a
same
meaningful spot, so this is another point of interest.
airy drone, a little bit higher pitched, way up above my
I
head.
feel like this song has a very strange rhyming situation, or the rhythm of the words, and it's a very sad kind of low, melancholic
And I heard a woman's
bass
shoes,
and rhythm part.
slightly creaky, daintily plodding.
In 2013, I tripped and fell here on this broken sidewalk and ripped up my face from forehead to chin. My face swelled up and I had to get a CAT scan. I guess the fall didn't cause any problems, but I was told that my CAT scan was abnormal and that I had to see a neurologist.
Is there a way to go back to where you started in the shape of a semicircle?
Waiting for the appointment for 2 weeks, I thought I had a brain tumor.
A memory that I can't really work through, and my therapist has given up on helping me,
I didn't have a brain tumor.
and he just says stop thinking about it, stop thinking about anything.
Instead, I found out that my brain
I guess
is
implying that it's my fault if I have any
it's just too small for my
emotional
age.
difficulties.
It doesn't matter, the doctor said. The sidewalk was
jump
fixed a
cut
few
there.
years later.
If someone says, hey, I've snapped my fingers, jump, you do. Here's another artwork.
Listen to me. Find something to go through.
Well, there's only really one major thing that comes to mind. I don't seem to mind getting these 2 guys in shot. I guess, I'm conventionally read as a guy, so it doesn't look to the outside as anything too creepy. But it's the kind of label that would stick, and filming people on the street seems to fit into that Vito Conchi creepy territory.
When I was in elementary school, my best friend was amazing. I loved her. Thought about her all the time.
Dim
Played with her
figures.
all the
Oh,
time.
sorry, JFK's not particularly dim. I just mean dimly remembered figures
Beautiful.
for someone like myself from
Long
the 20th
hair,
century.
a dancer.
You could-
When I would sleep over at her dad's house, which was pretty frequent, I would steal change from her. She had a lot of change.
Once again, it appears that I'm following someone, although it's not intentional. But I think videographically, it looks good to have someone in the center of the frame.
And so I would when she was out of the room, in the bathroom, or in the
This
early
mini
morning.
Arc de Triomphe, or is it the Brandenburg Gate? I don't know. I don't know anything about American history, even though I've sort of half absorbed it my entire life. But this looks very significant for some reason.
I don't know why.
So this is the thing I'm going to walk through. I think that I'm not going to be able to.
This is it?
I think there's a barrier.
This is what I get. And I think I'm going back up. I never really talk about that story because it's so stupid.
This is slightly promising. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. There's no cops.
So embarrassing, but yet I
think
really
I'm gonna
remember
get told
it
off. That it looks like someone officious on the other
because
side.
it's embarrassing.
Sneak through here.
Stories like that stay way down at the bottom, and we build our infrastructure on top. Even when people can't see it,
Success.
it's still there.
Do it again.
That I'm pushing the rules. So these are some shots that I'm taking after this film, just to contextualize where I am now. I don't know, are they grand American heroes? Are they fantastical mythological figures? I don't know. The defenders of the Union. This is again something to do with the Civil War. I think New York was on the good side. Pretty sure. Okay, we can pick this up again, redo this shot properly, because I know exactly what Laurie's going to say any moment now. I'm going to walk through here. She's going to tell me to turn left. I'm going to do a little pirouette, just to seem clever. She'll then ask me to look down and go find it.
Now turn around to the left,
Okie dokie.
look down,
Got it.
and find it.
Alright. There. That's what I was looking for all along. The whale